And you may be asking, why can people now take these classic, lovable things from our childhood and turn them into bloodthirsty killers? Here's the reason from Google. The original Winnie the Pooh stories by A. Milne, I think it's the way you pronounce it, entered the public domain on January 1st, 2022. This means that anyone can use the original story without paying or licensing it. And here's the blurb about Mickey from Google and why he is allowed to wield a knife. The original Mickey Mouse from the 1928 animated short film Steamboat Willie entered the public domain on January 1st, 2024. This means that anyone can copy, share, or build upon the character without restriction. However, and this is a big however, if you go out and make you a Mickey Mouse movie tomorrow, remember this. Disney can take legal action if the use of the character infringes on or dilutes the trademark. For example, Disney could prevent someone from making a Mickey Mouse slasher movie or calling their restaurant Mickey Mouse. The original Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie is different from the Mickey Mouse we know today in a few ways. He's black and white. He's not wearing gloves. He's got a tail. He's more rascally and rough. And he's not exactly cuddly. And there you go. Now you know why Winnie and Mickey, almost said Minnie and Mickey. You imagine seeing Minnie and Mickey Mouse on a, what's that movie, Natural Born Killers? Killing Spree? Crazy stuff right there, isn't it? Anyways, now you know why Winnie and Mickey can go on a murderous rampage. Highlights for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Let's start with the big one, gore. Both of the Winnie the Pooh horror movies are covered in gore from beginning to end. The first Winnie the Pooh horror movie did gore and kills great. It was everything else around the kills that needed work. In Blood and Honey 2, the kills were equally as strong as the first movie, almost too brutal at times. I mean, why break someone's bones before killing them? Not really necessary. But what they did right in the sequel is they actually made a solid story to put the kills in too. The first movie seemed like it was a cash grab on the name and a funny thing, dark funny, not haha funny, to see Pooh and Piglet killing people. That was its main selling point. Pooh on a rampage with Piglet. The sequel actually crafted a solid story and better acting and better score around the kills. But beyond the blood, I have to say they got the look of Pooh right. First movie, he looked like a man with a Pooh mask on, and Piglet was the same way. In this movie, they actually made Pooh look like an actual bear walking around on two legs dressed up like a human. Really like the look of Pooh in this one. Lots of Jason Voorhees vibes to it. And that isn't a bad thing. I like my Jason Voorhees. Pooh's buddies looked equally as great. Tigger was spot on, not as bright, but he did look really good. Um, but it was Owl, for me personally, that did it all. I really liked Owl, probably the most in this movie. He was grotesque and vulture like and evil through and through. And he sounded like Freddy Krueger at times, which just gave him a little more ominous feel. I really dug that. I like the way he just swooped down on people too and did things. Crazy, crazy what they did with Al in this one. But story, score, and directing, you kind of just put them on a big lump and just mash them together. They were all much improved from the first movie. And the guy who played Christopher Robin, Scott Chambers, did an excellent job in the lead role. Solid acting, much better than the movie really, really needed. He was really, really good in the movie. One of the highlights beyond the obvious gore and kills and Pooh on a rampage. All in all, kudos to this sequel, much improved, and it gives me hope for the third one, which is going to have a bigger budget. I don't have my Hawaiian shirt on. I was going back through my footage that I recorded for this episode, and I didn't really like the way the mousetrap segment turned out. Sure, it's all the way upstairs, and like, you know what? Nah, I'm not even going to go out of my way for the mousetrap and try and do what I normally do. Um, I'll get into the mousetrap here in just a second. I think you just saw the haiku, but I also wanted to mention something I was going to cut out, but I decided I kind of want to mention this because it's kind of interesting. This is from fandom.com. Go look up the Twisted Childhood Universe. And these are movies in this Poohniverse, is basically what it's called. Poohniverse, something like that. It's like a Marvel's Avengers style universe where they're putting all these movies together and creating characters from these twisted childhood tales. They've actually got like phases in there, like a phase one and phase two. Like this phase one, Bambi the Reckoning, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I saw the trailer for that recently, and that one really lends itself very well to a nightmare. Kind of like the look of that one already. Pinocchio Unstrung, Poohniverse Monsters Assemble. They all have 2025 as the release date beside them. Don't know if that's possible or not, but I think you can bang these out pretty quick. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get those next year, because I'm recording this in 2024. And Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 is scheduled for 2026. And there's a phase 2, Awakening, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White Returns, Alice and the Mad Hatter, Tigger's Return, Untitled Tinkerbell Film. They all got a TBA beside them, which is to be announced. So not sure when those will come out. It may depend on how the phase 1 goes, if we get a phase 2 or not. But I just wanted to kind of mention that. I was going to throw it in the Winnie the Pooh side before the mousetrap haiku dropped. And I was like, I want to go ahead and mention this. I really do, because I wrote it down because it sounded interesting. I thought you might find it interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and get into my script for the mousetrap. Dead Meat or Dead Meat Presents. I don't know if you follow either one of those channels on YouTube. You should. They're great for a horror fix. James and the team does an amazing job. James had warned me about the mousetrap. He's doing a kill count for it very soon. In fact, I think the kill count will come out before this episode drops. So swing over to Dead Meat and check out the kill count for the mousetrap. I'm sure we'll have some really fun stuff to get into and some really interesting facts about it, because he dives into some really good facts. Anyways, these are my thoughts on the mousetrap. Now, I try to stay positive on this channel, but ain't doing it this time because this movie sucked bad. There's nothing good or redeeming about it for a slasher fan or a horror fan or a movie fan. It just stinks. Avoid at all cost. It's mostly bloodless except for a couple of kills. Acting wasn't even passable for a slasher movie. That's saying a lot. Neither was the story. That's also saying a lot. And neither was the direction. That's also saying a lot. Shots were tepid. Actors had no energy in chase or fight scenes or scare scenes. It isn't a good movie. Not even a so bad it's good movie. And they even stole stuff from much better movies. It was obvious this was a cash grab, and it just needs to be avoided at all cost. And I should have heeded the warnings, but I didn't. But, Mickey slicing and dicing, I just couldn't pass it up, and I probably should have. I will say 2 positives for me on this one. I do like the poster. The poster is very sharp. It really draws you in and catches your attention. And the killer. I like the look of the killer. Not so much below the mask. He could have been a little more Mickey-esque or Steamboat Willie-esque below the mask, but I do like the way he looked in the mask with the build and the size of him, the Jason Voorhees kind of vibe of him. And I like the way he has sort of a Freddy pizzazz too. And the fact he teleported around occasionally, that was kind of crazy and interesting too. They never explained it. He just decided to start popping around places to places, but that was kind of interesting. Anyways, that's it. I just wanted to get into that really briefly. Like I said, I didn't really like my last recording on this part of the episode, and I'll try and get back to my Hawaiian shirts next time, but I just want to get that in really quick. Have you seen either of these movies? Drop me a comment or your thoughts about them in the comments below. Take care. Thanks for being awesome, people, and have a good one.